we are finally back with game number 4 of the Mineski Pro Gaming League, season number 7's Class S Leg 2 final. It is of course Mineski going up against TNC, and Mineski, they do have the upper hand for now. They are ahead 2-1, so only one more win is what will guarantee them victory. Whereas TNC, they have to kind of win 2 games in a row if they want to take this for themselves. But looking at the bans, we'll see if we're going to get something different, for example a task ban by DNC. But of course we're HeflaTV, I'm Couchor, once more going to be joined by Heflamoke. Do we get the task ban here?
Yes.
In the first phase or later?
Yes.
That's not the question you can answer with yes, man.
What was your question?
Are we going to get the task banned in the first or second phase?
That's a good question, actually. No, but I think we should definitely... I mean, every time we see the gyrocopter and the task coming out, either alone or in combination, like, that team looked much stronger. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Mineski's draft last game, the chat didn't agree with me there, but I found it was very solid. The funny part is TNC had before that game a similar draft and also had a very convincing game. So now we have to see if they really go with this. The first rotation is already the end of the task. So now the question is if they want to secure the gyrocopter, because it seems both teams are really comfortable with it. So that's something I'm really curious about. Mineski goes with Leshrak, okay.
And TNC, I wouldn't be surprised if they went for a Queen of Pain themselves now, since it is also just left in the pool still. Although last game TNC, the Queen of Pain, it was really a non-factor in the game. Got really low levels early on, so only a level 1 Sonic Wave. Yes, it can still be strong, but didn't really worry all that much, or Mineski didn't worry about it all that much. But they will still pick it up, and as the secondary one, what could they even go for? I guess something like an Earthshaker is always a solid pick if you just want to land a support. Or TNC, they have been favoring the Winter Wyvern for 2 games in a row now, maybe even a third.
Yep, Queen of Pain. I mean, that was last game just like thrown in there, I think, by TNC. This time TNC, they go again with the Queen of Pain, but they put that Queen of Pain in an offline, and I was not happy with it. The Undying, the aggressive play of the second game of this best of five series was very convincing. So I'm definitely looking forward to have this Undying again. So far there is no great synergy whatsoever. I assume this Leshrak is gonna be a Leshrak core, just because it's the more dominant pick at the moment. Like support Leshraks, you really just do that if they counter you too hard, or you just want to bait them into countering, and then you go for something else. So let's see if this is mid Leshrak versus Queen of Pain, or if TNC actually go again for some weird Queen of Pain offline, and then I can just hope it works better out than last time, because last time that was a sad Queen of Pain.
Oh, it most certainly was. It just didn't work out in any aspect almost. I mean, the start was solid. Just got some pretty nice harassment on the gyro, but as time progressed, as just they got more levels, Queen of Pain started falling behind. Even died once, being chased by a homing missile for a really long time, I think. But we do have an Earthshaker as a second pick for Mineski, so already quite a bit of disables in, well, quite possibly dealing with the Queen of Pain. Maybe not the best stuns, like Rubik Telekinesis or something like that would be an easier way to deal with the Queen of Pain, but Fissure into Split Earth should still be good enough.
Yeah, I mean, the Fissure... I mean, Leshrak is always here that works with a primary stun and then his follow-up stun, because otherwise he has to still target it. That's the funny part. Like, for Leshrak, sometimes we still see the old-school Leshrak Yule Scepter, where you can, you know, go alone on the hunt, just Yule Scepter up into Earth Split, and then just go full YOLO on that target that is stun. If you have an Earthshaker, that makes it, of course, a lot easier. Initial stun, you can get a lightning in, and afterwards, the movement speed is so slow that you can actually land your Earth Split. So that makes it so much easier for Leshrak. The targets are mostly dead by the time the Earth Split hits, or the Earth Split is finishing them off. So that's a nice combination. Still, they need something for their safe lane, something greedy, something physical based. Otherwise, PKPs is of course a big problem. TNC, they pick the gyrocopter. So let's see.
Yeah, a little bit surprised that it even made its way through the bans here, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just such a strong hero, but I was thinking TNC, they already had 2 rather aggressive heroes, the Queen of Pain and Undying, of course, that maybe they would even like to go for something like a Puck now, for example. Go for some extra pushing, and the Nether Ward is one of the more annoying things that Leshrac can deal with.
that's true. I mean, the Gyrocopter and the Juggernaut now in direct comparison, because you just said it like you thought Gyrocopter is going to be banned in the second ban rotation. I thought so as well. And looking at the Juggernaut, I probably would have traded Juggernaut for Gyrocopter. Sure, the Juggernaut has like the natural immunity against stuns with his against magic with his spins, but still the Gyrocopter, you saw it in the last games, especially if he has any tools of stun, of slow, whatsoever, then he can make really value of it. And Mineski, they pick a Phantom Lancer against the Gyrocopter, which is, I wouldn't say a natural counter, but like if someone is out there that can actually remove all of the Phantom Lancer illusions and everything with a lot of AoE, then it's a Gyrocopter. And on top of that, we also have a Queen of Pain. So I don't feel comfortable with that Phantom Lancer. Doppelganger timing here is very crucial in this game. If he fucks it up, maybe with rockets or with screams or with cooldowns, then that's become a problem.
Yeah, I also question that pickup, to be honest. I mean, Queen of Pain is maybe even like worse for the Phantom Lancer to go up against. At least once you get the Aghanim Scepter, 40-second cooldown, and it's not all that hard to like land it on all the illusions plus the hero itself as well, because Sonic Wave is a pretty huge ultimate. But TNC now even gonna go for a Dazzle here, so they're gonna have some backup in terms of sort of like survivability if necessary. They have the Dazzle heals, the Shallow Grave, Undying with the Soul Rip can also just heal somebody if necessary. So far I really like TNC's lineup, but Mineski, I mean, it so heavily depends on like how the laning actually goes.
A Dazzle comes out. I'm not so happy with the Dazzle. Last time we had the Dazzle in combination with the Phantom Lancer, as well as what was it? But no, it just didn't work out. And this time the Dazzle, what is the Dazzle for? Is this really just for that heavy nuke target and that's it? And now we get even a Keeper of the Light Phantom Lancer. To be honest, and that's something totally weird, because everybody is still hyping the Keeper of the Light support when they see a Phantom Lancer, because we all remember that in 2014 or even before that, like the Cancer Lancer plus the Coddle combination, which was so strong, because the Lancers are so strong when you can spam them on lane, and the Keeper of the Light just feeds you with mana all the time. Now the Keeper of the Light has a different role, I think. Like, he can stack in the jungle, he can actually farm that. We see sometimes Keeper of the Lights below 10 minutes with the Arcanum Scepter. The heal of the Arcanum Scepter is crazy. Team Secret, for example, is also like one of those teams who utilizes the recall of the Keeper of Light very extremely well. They just go forward, push something, split push something, recall them the same second, do some damage, and then they're completely safe. So let's see how Mineski actually practiced with that hero, because I think the role in the current patch is totally different from what we know from last year and before that.
Wow. It's different indeed.
I had to get this text off, because you don't get to see a Keeper of the Light that often. It's really just in who played it, Couchor. ESL1, it was just Secret whoever had a Keeper of the Light, if I remember correctly. Did we have 2 or 3 picks or something like that? That was it? And 2 of them were by Team Secret?
It's really Secret. They've been playing the Keeper of Light actually for some time now as well.
Yep.
But like you said, you need to be really good at actually using that hero to its full potential, and that's what most teams or players personally can't pull off. We'll see Mineski, maybe they practiced with it, maybe they just thought like, hey, why the hell not, just gives us lots of turtling power, because maybe their goal is really to just get Phantom Lancer huge. But TNC now, their 5th pick was a Conka. The one thing I'm a little bit worried about is that they don't have the greatest setup, so he's for the most part gonna have to set up his own torrents with the X Mark.
Yeah, that is... Okay, I have no idea how I can describe this in a very very kind words. But the bottom line is, I don't understand it. I don't understand how the Kunkka is actually working in here. The only good thing is, of course, if you have a clutch fight, cooldowns, and the Kunkka X Mark is something that works really nice. Also, targets that are slowed by Shadow Strike, cooldown, Dazzle Poison, as well as the zombie army. The boat is more likely to hit and it's very unlikely that people can dodge it. But still, this is all like, what if the right situation? It's not like 100% combination of things I can see with the Kunkka, and I'm also wondering what kind of position is the Kunkka in. Is he actually getting farm? That's Teehee on the Kunkka, so indeed he is actually getting some farm. Interesting.
Should be a fun game for sure. And to introduce the lineups as well for what can quite possibly be the last game of the series, it is going to be Ayo on the Undying, leaving 7 on the Dazzle with Gnoji to be the Gyrocopter, Teehee on that core Kunkka, and Sam Mage, the last one, on the Queen of Pain.
Yep, let me just ban the guy that spams his chat too much. And then we look on the other side here at the moment. In the mid is Jesse Vash on that Clockwork, which we didn't even talk about. It's the fifth one for Mineski, and I kind of like it because the cogs, they can really destroy the fight for TNC. Right now it's all cluster around one area with Tombstone and Cooldown and Boat and whatnot. Cogs can really fuck this up. That's a good thing. Anyway, so heading back into the Radiant Jungle, we have Jules on the Phantom Lancer, Cuckoo playing Leshrac, Ova on that Earthshaker, and last but not least is Mr. Cuddle by G. I think this is looking like a 50-50 bounty rune split, so nothing dramatic. I mean, for Mineski, the best case scenario is they just win this, and to be honest, by draft, I like it. Then again, Mineski also has sometimes the quality in the team that they go into fights that are not 100%. And as I said, like TNC, they have really like a little AoE setup. If Mineski is not careful, they might lose a lot of fights before they get a certain set of items that protects them against these situations.
Well, we'll see how it's going to work out. The laning at the moment from Mineski isn't quite what I expected it to be, in all honesty, but Phantom Lancer, Keeper of Light, dual off lane. And of course mid lane, it's just going to be Earthshaker supporting Cuckoo. Maybe even trying to go for some kills once Leshrac is level 2 or above. Before that, just Lightning Storm and Fissure is not going to be enough. They really need the split turf as well, I feel like.
Yeah.
But top lane, Chisivash is not going to have a fun time at all. I mean, Ayo on the Undying, he can even leave the lane, and Queen of Pain is just still going to own Clockwork, or at least should.
Yep, the Undying is already starting there. They're trying to control the lane, trying to deny some experience to the Clockwork. The Clockwork is kind of happy that the lane is relatively close to the tower because he was holding it back with cogs, but the problem is he will get permanently Shadow Strike in there, and he will permanently get Decay. The Decay spam is going to be absolutely real on the Clockwork, so he has to be really, really careful at some point. Oh, in the mid. Oh, Cuckoo, that is very, very aggressive. There's a level 1 X mark, actually throwing him into the air. One more hit, and that's our first blood. What was wrong with him? He was on like 300 HP, and he was going straight for that Kunkka. Like, wow. I think that was very ballsy, and he paid with his life for that incident.
He almost got first blood himself before, but he messed up a little bit with his Lightning Storm, or rather, he cancelled his Lightning Storm. Oh, bottom lane though, 7 is gonna lose his life.
Yep. Nicely circle around on that Dazzle, just, yeah, push to pieces.
It's still, yeah, Cuckoo, he was so close to getting first blood. The Fissure was a little bit off target. Well, he got the stun, but it was on the wrong side, so Cuckoo wouldn't get enough right clicks to follow up. But suddenly, there's a level difference. Kunkka is a little bit ahead now, especially with the first blood gold as well. Lasted twice, 2 behind, but just, he really needed that. Otherwise, I think Kunkka would have just gotten destroyed. Now, another X marks the spot, stun will land. It's just harassment for now, especially with the creep wave coming in, but even then, having a bottle already, he can quite easily just harass Leshrac quite a bit. As oh, Gyrocopter does lose his life, and looks like this bottom lane is a rather huge success for now for Mineski.
Yeah, absolutely. The tri-lane is completely working out, especially if you give the double damage rune to the Earthshaker, which was the natural result of the Dazzle dying there, and the Dazzle missing for the Gyrocopter as support. Then yeah, that's of course bad news. And now we actually have the Undying rotating into the mid, which is very interesting. If the lane is a tiny bit pushed out with a Tombstone, this is the slow required. All he needs now, there he will come, and Tombstone. The zombies are already marching, and now the biggest problem, of course, comes for the Leshrac. He does not have enough HP. Even that Fissure does not really do the trick. Now look at the Dazzle. He's trying to body block Ova at the moment. It's brown boots versus no boots, but on the other side we have the Undying. And yeah, he's gonna get a decay in, but I think that's it. I don't think they're gonna get too much. This is one hit. A second hit, the movement speed is 360 versus 360. He can go for Roshan and try to deny himself, but if he's not lucky enough, never mind that. Roshan is powerful enough.
Yeah, just one paw swipe or whatever Roshan has just gets the kill there or deny. So it's decent-ish, but Leshrac is getting really shut down, and well, at least he has his bottle now, so that's something, but I don't think they imagined that kind of a lane to go like this. That was also the reason that Earthshaker, well, I guess, or at least I think he wanted to actually go help mid lane, but since Leshrac got killed earlier, he rotated bottom lane, which of course worked out wonders for them. But after that, Earthshaker just wasn't fast enough to rotate back in, and with this, Leshrac 2 deaths already. And well, at least farm-wise, you can't really stop Leshrac. He's just going to be lightning storming, and now they can even get the kill, I think. The boat came through, so he's taking less damage or delayed damage. So Conker might even be able to escape. Nope, one last lightning storm gets the kill.
Yep, if it wasn't about a lightning storm, there was a Cuddle of the Light in the background who is now equipped with a rune haste, which means, yeah, there was just no escape for that Conker. So at least Leshrac got revenge right away after he died. He got a bit messed up with like all these ganks in the mid and giving away the first blood to the Conker, so a revenge was definitely needed. Of course, with all those rotations, there is one upside. The Clockwork finally gets something. He's still very passive against the Queen of Pain. With the Queen of Pain, you can't really get her, for example, into the cogs, leech some mana and everything. That's not quite possible, but he went for 2 points into Rocket Flyer right now, which means he can actually last hit with that, plus quite effectively harass the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain naturally does not go for any HP regen whatsoever, so hurting her over time is actually a nice thing, because then you force her into using that salve or go for a new set of tangos or bottle, whatever she comes up with, whatever her game plan is. Bad news is one thing, of course, that's the Gyrocopter. He has to be massively supported on his lane at the moment, because there's the Cuddle of Light, there's the Phantom Lancer level 3 Spirit Lance spam now, and that's just real. I mean, look at the damage. That's like 1/3 of the Dazzle's damage plus the illusion, and he has mana all the time.
That's a good Keeper of the Light. Cuddle, give me mana. And well, if he does, that's all you need to do as well. Of course, I'd like to see Jules use the Spirit Lance maybe a little bit more, but then again, he just doesn't have a target to use it on, just because nobody wants to go in there. They know it's going to be constant harass. You use the Spirit Lance, you get Chakra Magic, Spirit Lance going to have a lower cooldown, and that's how it goes kind of, as AO does at least box off Keeper of the Light from the rune, gets a double damage for himself. Although I don't think there's a bottle on Keeper anyway. It would have been nice harass-wise for the Keeper to have the double damage, but not that big of a deal.
Oh, look what the Leshrac is doing. That's a tasty stack, popping everything, including the Lightning Storm, but it's not quite enough. He has to go back, bottle a tiny bit so he can clear all this out, but yeah, that is really, really tasty. That's about 500 gold, what they do right there. And look at the Gyrocopter also bottom lane. He has really trouble staying in that lane. That's the good thing about this Cancer Cuddle lane. You just can't stay there unless you have massive HP regen, but he doesn't have a helmet, he doesn't have a mask yet, so there is no lifesteal, no 5 HPS by default plus some armor against the illusions and the hits you get there. And even if the Cuddle is in the right angle in the trees, he gets you Illuminate in the face, which even hurts more. Gyrocopter doesn't come with a big HP pool, so yeah, he has to go manually back. He's losing like a minute or more uptime.
Oh, mid lane Teehee though might... Oh no, the X marks the spot. Never mind, Lightning Storm gets the kill. For a second I thought with the X marks the spot and the Soul Rip they might survive. Cuckoo, can he also get the last hit on the Tombstone? He can. Gets the kill, gets another 100 gold from the Tombstone. And bottom lane is pushing in, tower down to half HP already. Mineski not looking bad at all. Although at the moment, Keeper of Light, he's maxing out Chakra Magic. Do you think he's gonna max out Illuminate next, or is it actually Mana Leak next?
I actually think... I mean, okay, I'm not sure about the Mana Leak versus Illuminate, but I think he's gonna leave it on Chakra Magic 3. I don't think he's gonna go further with that, because level 3 is completely enough to sustain. But oh, the Conker is coming in. Well, PL gets the tower and doppelganger. That's why this ability is so strong. You can dodge everything. There's the lance on the Queen of Pain. Oh my god, that was completely off target, but it doesn't really matter. He's still... getting away. He's using the salve at the moment. The Leshrac is getting the undying kill in the meantime, but the problem is the PL is still running away. He has only 1 point in doppelganger, and well, there's the last lance, and that's pretty much it. Keep of the Light TPing out, so they get an undying for a PL traded in the end. But, well, they got the tower, the tier 1 tower, also lasted by the PL, so if you ask me, it's a fairly even trade.
Yeah, I think it's perfectly acceptable. That way they don't have to really come back to the bottom lane. Oh, Cuckoo! sees Tihi. There's the splitter, beautifully done. Pulse Nova to follow, one Lightning Storm as well. There's a Torrento, but it's just not gonna be enough. Pupu in the Leshrac, he struggled early on, died twice, but suddenly 4 kills after that. So he's really picking up, and he's showing that at least it feels like he's really comfortable on the Leshrac as well. Landing those split earths, doing lots of damage with the Lightning Storms, and quite nicely even using a level 1 Pulse Nova.
Oh, and he wants more. He's diving the tier 1 tower here, but there is a tombstone. He wanted to bait that out, and yeah, there they have to go. Big fat Illuminate coming Dazzle's way. And he's so close to dying.
That's only level 1 Illuminate.
Yeah, this is level 1 Illuminate. I mean, there was some damage before, I think, by that he got Lightning Storm, something, but still. If that was level 2, that might have been a kill on the Dazzle, just like that. And there was also a rocket flying in, which, yeah, completely submerged in all that kind of action that's going on. Either way, the tombstone is down, which means I think they can just go push. They only have to take care of the Kunkka. The boat is ready in 3 seconds now.
Oh, Samage already blinks forward, maybe a little bit too early, although they have X-Marks to spot, it's level 3 as well. But with the Illuminate, Split Earth to follow, and the Lightning Storm, is it gonna be enough? Mana Leak, yes, another Lightning Storm. That range is too much, to be honest. Samage drops lower.
This is ridiculous. And it's ready again. It's the low cooldown on that ability, Lightning Storm, that makes it so goddamn strong. Like, if he would have moved 1 second further, then he would have gotten even a triple kill on that Queen of Pain. It's just nothing you can do. A 4-second cooldown on an ability is just ridiculously low. In my opinion, it should really be, I don't know, 6 seconds or something. That would be reasonable, maybe even
Plus,
a tiny bit more.
You can pretty much get double Lightning Storm if you get Chakra Magic, like, at the right time.
True.
Because it's, when Chakra Magic is maxed out, it's a 4-second reduction, and that's exactly the cooldown of Lightning Storm.
Yep.
To be honest, it even works with a level 3 Chakra Magic, probably just because the 1 second is like the cast time and everything anyway. So, yeah, you can pretty much do double Lightning Storm in a row. Plus then there's the Illuminate, just way too much damage, TNC. They need BKBs, they need the pipe, they need something.
Yep. It really hurts. I mean, this is 260 damage, while there's, of course, still pulses and whatnot going on. Oh, but there's an X-Mark here. Illuminate is already getting cancelled. Well, this is a big fat boat, and now the Gyrocopter is coming in. I think he's gonna get his revenge, but does he get a kill before? There's one more hit needed on the Gyrocopter, and it remains this trade, but beautifully done by the Queen of Pain coming in. Sonic Wave, 2 kills, and, well, it looked like a bad trade for TNC in the first place. Queen of Pain changed that fact into a very, very good trade, actually.
Yeah, an excellent one, I'd say even, and it was just huge misplays from Mineski Leshrac. He came in from way too aggressive of an angle. You have to give credit to the X marks the spot. I mean, you just can't run away from that. I mean, at least Phantom Lancer is farming at the same time. Already has Blade of Alacrity, double of them even, and gets away with the Doppelganger as well for now. And actually, all game I think we haven't even looked at Jesse Vash because the Clockwork, well, he hasn't been a part of any action at all.
Yeah, but I think he should be right now. He's level 7. It's time he actually gets action into this game.
Yeah, he has a chainmail finish as well. 34 last hits. 3 assists even as well, just using the global rocket flare, I suppose. Which is maxed out, so that's not even that bad. So, target-wise, you can jump on pretty much anybody apart from the Queen of Pain. Or I guess you can even jump the Queen of Pain and maybe get the kill, but all the others, if you catch them in the cogs, it should be an easy kill. I mean, there's an Illuminate to follow if necessary, easy split earths, and Lightning Storm spam, of course.
Yep, absolutely. At the moment, I think the Phantom Lancer is doing quite well. This is 12 minutes. He only needs the recipe for the diffuser plate, and he already got PTs as well as Aquila. Also, just a recipe for the magic stick done. So he's quite decent-ish in stats, and then with the diffuser plate, it gets kind of because you just saw it, like the Leshrac and everybody holding them in place, as well as, for example, a Fisher, maybe even a Clockwork. So the diffuser plate that early actually goes to work, which is a very, very interesting thing. Because mana at this point...
Slam, Split Earth will follow, and they get the kill, and that is the first Blast on charge gained.
That was so fast. I saw they wanted to go on the Queen of Pain, but wow, that was so much commitment with the Aqua Slam just blowing him up. Yeah,
I mean, I saw like Queen of Pain, he almost got, or she almost got the blink off like 3 times, but every single time there was a cancel there, and not only do they get the kill, they also create the space to possibly get the tier 1 top lane, although there is a glyph, but yeah, they're gonna get it.
Yep. What I also like is that Mineski, they know that they have the early advantage, that with the Leshrac on this level, with
Just
this
look
farm.
at the Leshrac's net worth.
Yeah.
8.3k, next highest 5.7, and that's his teammate.
Absolutely. That's just the amazing part about Leshrac. And from now on, he is a little snowball and you have to use it. Unfortunately, of course, all the tier 1 towers are gone from TNC. So if you want to keep on pushing, if you want to do siege damage, then it has to be relatively close to a position that gets better and better for TNC. As I said, I still think if it's an all-out 5-on-5 clutch, maybe even in a choke point of the map, then we have a tiny advantage for TNC, unless the Clockwork gets a good positioning in with the cogs. That's my personal opinion, but we have to see how well it works out with Tombstone and Cooldown and whatnot. So let's see how this is working. But at the moment, the Clockwork is finding Queen of Pain. She accidentally actually hit him. In theory, I think you can see that. Like the projectiles, yes, and there it is. There is the Sentry Ward. Does he have a second one? No, he has not a second one. There's no dust, no nothing, so Clockwork should be safe for now. In the meantime, however, the Leshrac is getting a kill solo on the Kunkka again.
Yeah,
Or more or less solo.
Gio, why don't you give mana to Kuku and the Leshrac? Leshrac has to go all the way back home, and whoa, he has gone for a Glimmer Cape, so wants to get some easy escapes, and it's not even that bad. I mean, if you get X-marked, you can expect lots of magic damage to land on you afterwards. So just Glimmer Cape before and you're fine.
So he's not going all home again. It's the recall. Now we start actually to work with recall and everything. So it's really just someone TPing home, refilling the bottle, getting fully regened, and then just back to action right away. And that Leshrac is so aggressive now. I've just been talking about the positioning, how far they have to go to find actually kills and siege damage. And now, look, they're already in front of the tier 2 tower. I'm not so sure if he actually finds someone. Oh, there's a stun here on the Undying. There is the follow-up stun with the Fissure. And look at all this damage. You might actually be successful on that Dazzler. At least bait out the Shallow Crave, which just happened.
Just amazing plays coming out. And he's like, yeah, I don't need your Fissure for Split Earth. I'm going to initiate with a Split Earth. Just easy going. Like, unbelievable how well Kuku is playing this game on the Leshrac. Level 13 already as well. Level 11 is the next highest. Queen of Pain as was the Phantom Lancer. But PL has himself the Diffusal, another Blade of Alacrity on top of that towards Yasha probably. I mean, one thing that they don't have the best lineup for still is Roshan, I suppose, especially without a Medallion. So that's like maybe their one downside, but it's not like TNC can go for Roshan themselves either.
I don't think Mineski necessarily needs to push a Roshan, because right now everything is working. The Phantom Lancer is farming very well. The Clockwork, even though he is not very active in the game. Never mind, in the mid there's a go on that Earthshaker, but oh my god, he's TPing out. But that's the X-Mark as well as the Torrent, and well, Echo Slam, just the last initiative. Unfortunately, there's no one that can actually capitalize on it. So back.
Oh, there's a hasted Leshrac though. Shallow Grave does save Undying for now. X marks the spot, comes in. Kuku though with the haste, does still get hit by the Torrent, but he's just so damn tanky. Gets yet another kill. Oh
ridiculous.
Man.
He doesn't care, like there's zombies and whatnot. Now he made a mistake. Now he really made a mistake, but there's a Glimmer Cape, there's no vision whatsoever. Well, Blinding Light actually helps the Queen of Pain to get away here. Is there a follow-up stun? If so, yes, this might be a kill. One more hit is needed, and it is absolutely enough. Call down, so much damage on the Leshrac. He's committing suicide right there. Keep of Light, easy TP out for him. So this is actually good. Like, Leshrac doesn't lose anything. Suicide, still 9 charges on the Bloodstone, so he has nothing to worry about. Still, for me, I would like to see that Clockwork in action. I mean, I think this is the first time I see a game where a Clockwork is solo on lane, has a very fast level 7. I mean, at minute 9 he was on level 7, which is good for a solo lane versus a dual lane, but he doesn't use it. Like, we had one hookshot so far this entire game.
Yeah, it's really weird to see this passive of a Clockwork, to be honest, but maybe he's just farming up towards something particular. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a 4-staff now, and he's gonna have it, so I guess now he should go aggressive. Or maybe just like, yeah, Leshrac and Phantom Lancer, they've got this, no worries.
Oh, they go full in, and look at this. Perfect Fissure, stunning too, and the Illuminate just finishing them off. PL is there, he also wants his part in all this fighting. There goes the Gyrocopter, and well, last but not least, the bonus goal on top of it with the Tombstone. A 3-for-0 trade, absolutely clear. And the only one who does not care is still the Clockwork. He's just a minute, he's like, okay guys, I'm farming, you're doing fine. Keep on going.
Clockwork, best strat hero, 200 or 2015. 2015. I mean, Clockwork, at least for Mineski, he's really been only like, oh, action is on the opposite part of the map. I'm just gonna stay clear of that. I'm not gonna even go there.
He's 0-0 and 3, and those 3 assists, I'm pretty sure 2 of them were rocket flares.
I think all of them were rocket flares even.
or that way, yeah. Oh, but they want to scout out the Queen of Pain. She has no blink for 6 seconds. What we need is a stun and a hook shot. There, we just talked about it. There's the action we wanted to see by a Clockwork. Beautiful targeting, beautiful hit. And there we go. That's how we wanted. 40 seconds on the sideline, that Queen of Pain. And that hurts because she is the one who leads actually for TNC in the net worth. She was like the hope, the big AoE, that something that can turn around the fights. But, oh well. This is not looking good for TNC at the moment. Like, what happened to this team that just 2 games ago looked so solid? It's just not working out at the moment.
It's just the laning, or I'm not too sure. The Kanka, I can't even say that the Kanka did bad in the lane, at least not early on. It's just TNC in general. I think their supports in the games that they've lost have been feeling a little bit awkward, although they might get the kill on Geo. X marks the spot there, but there is no follow-up at all.
This was just in case holding him there, but to be honest, at the moment you don't even do yourself a favor if you hold them there in place, because they're not ready for a fight. If that Leshrac turns around and decides to like blow everything, like before they get the Leshrac down, he pretty much used all his mana, and that translates into more than your current HP pool on the TNC heroes. That's the insane part. Like the Dazzle can of course try to counter heal it a bit. Some stick charges used, so that's the overall healing they have at the moment on TNC. Unless I missed a max somewhere. No, I don't think so. So yeah, that's the only healing we have. And that's the biggest problem. This Leshrac is just too fat. Level 16, Claymore Cape, Yule Scepter. He has his own setup now, which means he becomes also the hunter on his own. He doesn't need any Fisher setup.
Well, we do at least have a Shadow Blade now in T, his Kanka. So maybe he can set up like a proper X-Mark, Torrent, Ghost Ship combination. Ghost Ship also being level 2. But they really need a huge combo to land. Like you said earlier, if they can fight in a space that is like rather small for Mineski, maybe like catch them when they're doing Roche or something like that. They have a massive amount of AoE in combination, cooldown, Sonic Wave, Ghost Ship.
Oh, but top they want to go to action here. There is a silence on the Phantom Lancer. He needs to get killed now. And yes, that's it. That's the problem of illusions. The cleave is definitely possible. But of course, the downside is you get a PL, but I think you lose a tier 2 tower for that. Edict, well, is already on cooldown. They used the cliff for this. There's a tombstone, but this one is just too far away. It's just on the edge that one of the zombies is spawning. But I mean, the strength of the zombies is that they always come in the hundreds and not just one by one. So yeah, nobody's impressed by that tombstone. Nobody's even killing it. Tier 2 tower for a PL. Not the best trade for Mineski, but since they pushed that early, any siege damage is valuable at this point.
Yeah, it's just well done, to be honest, by Mineski. I mean, yes, they lose a Phantom Lancer, although he did defuse himself off the Orchid. So that was pretty nice, but he definitely wants to get a Manta style to just have an easier time removing that silence and then trying to escape. But if you're in such a situation, even the Doppelganger is just not gonna make the escape. You need somebody to actually divert the attention of the enemy while you're doppelganging and trying to escape.
Absolutely. Oh, there's a boat falling on the PL. He just came back. Oh, this is beautiful. This is exactly...
The Sonic Wave was absolutely not necessary, but...
yeah. No, but TNC is at the moment in a position where they definitely need it. I mean, they're so far behind already. We look at a 22 minutes game, like they lost all tier 1 towers, one of the tier 2 towers already. Mineski in theory could go uncontested Roshan, and that Leshrac is a total beast. So if you can get a kill, make 200% sure you actually get that kill. There's a Diabolic Edict. They start to work on that mid tier 2 tower. At the moment, the Leshrac is the one baiting it out. Torrent does not hit, and the entire team is in the background. Well, he even got illusions now just to be safe. Only problem is now they're out of creeps.
So we haven't even talked about like some of the items or lack of items, I suppose. For example, you can see Earthshaker, he has his Blink Dagger, that's excellent, but it does come at the cost of Geo and the Keeper of the Light not even having that much. Usually you see like Keeper of Lights having quite a bit of gold, just oh, the hookshot into a creep, their own dire creep, but Geo, he's not, like, he's nowhere near an Aghanim setter at the moment.
Nope, that doesn't go anywhere. But the boat is gonna connect here on the Phantom Lancer, but a beautiful Glimmer Cape reducing a lot of that damage. And now the Leshrac is super aggressive there in the background. He has no Glimmer Cape whatsoever, but he has still a Yule Scepter. And now you see already illusions going to him. There's an Illuminate and it goes fully through that Kunkka. He's going down, but the zombies, well, at least they finished off. But nice Echo Slam here on the Undying. It's a 1-for-2 trade at the moment, and TNC, they already have to go back even with the Tombstone in such a convenient position. There's just no way they can really commit to these fights at the moment. Tombstone is gone, and I think the push is going to continue. Bloodstone also on the Leshrac, which means he is so fast back to all this action. I mean, he's already back, pretty much.
I mean, to be honest, he didn't even need to die in that situation. He just ran into the cooldown and stood way too far in front, in my opinion, but in the end it kind of worked out for them, although Dazzle, he got 1000 gold from just killing off that Leshrac. Also, Leshrac losing Blaststone charges isn't all that optimal for him, but as long as he's keeping himself at 8 or above, at least the item doesn't lose value, so to say.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, the original value doesn't get lost if you keep it like around the 8-ish mark. And at the moment he's on 9. That's totally fine for the fact that he just died and before he suicided. So that's all good. And what they got out of the Leshrac is mostly the AoE damage as well as the Diabolic Edict siege damage. And now of course Roshan. So that's all good. They really use him in the most valuable little window of time you have on a Leshrac, where your damage when you That's the funny part about Leshrac. You can literally face roll the keyboard. You just press every single ability as soon as the fight starts. The only one you have to aim for, of course, is Split Earth. That's it. But everything else is just, you know, throw your keyboard against the wall and you're a good Leshrac player. Okay, I'm joking, obviously, but you get the point.
Yeah, it's at the moment as well, since he does have a BKB plus a Glimmer Cape, he can actually press R and run into the middle of everybody. That's what he can do, unless he's gonna BKB too late and is already so low that just a little bit of physical damage will kill him.
Yep.
But he should be just beefy enough to be able to get off the BKB properly and then just really run into the middle of everybody, get the level 3 Pulse Nova doing damage, and kind of see how it goes from there.
Yep. I mean, also the good thing about the Leshrac build he chose, I mean, I had a little question mark above the Glimmer Cape, because I thought, well, that's something the Keep of the Light, for example, can provide, because he can easily farm that together. But if you really think about it, right now he has a combination of insane damage output. So right now he can run in, Glimmer Cape himself, where the enemy team needs sentry wards, which we didn't have in all of these fights, and also they have a gem now, which means they remove that easily. Then if he gets too low in HP, easy going, Yule Scepter, and he can hope that, I don't know, somewhat happens around him that he actually gets out of this situation. And if he does not get low on HP, he can even pop the BKB and just keep on going. So right now there is a 5-second Glimmer Cape and a 10-second BKB, which will be the time where he's almost unstoppable.
I mean, Cuckoo, he just really likes running into cooldowns. Did the same at the moment as well. Gonna tank the tower, just demolish the creep wave. But there is a glyph. Will they use it though? No. Just gonna let it go.
Yep, and that was the last outer tower for TNC. So we're pretty fast back where we were in the last game. 26 minutes, 30 minutes. I think at 27 or 28 last time they lost their mid Raxes, and at 33 or something the bottom Raxes, which resulted into like an endless 10-minute fight that was the GG fight pretty much. So again, Mineski very early with their push because of a snowbally Leshrac. We have to ask the question though, do they go high ground or do they farm another 20k advantage like they had in the previous game to go high ground? That's the question mark.
I mean, it's not that easy to go up against the amount of AoE that TNC has if you're going high ground. But in my opinion, Clockwork should be rather ready. But then again, him being so close to Aghanim Scepter, you might as well wait for him to complete it and then go in. It's the perfect initiation, which, well, we haven't seen. One hookshot was into the Queen of Pain with the splitter follow-up and then just blowing her up. But Chisivash, most passive Clockwork I have ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, like, this is a 28 minutes game with 2 hookshots cast. One of them was a beautiful kill on the Queen of Pain where everything was nicely chained, but I really have the feeling he's like saying, guys, like, we got everything we need. That Clockwork pick is not a roamy one. It's really just for fights, then just to make sure they don't follow up on certain things. So that's pretty cool. I mean, the cogs in the fights, they are really important. Like for the X-Mark setups, for example, you can Kunkka is always trying to hit you after Torrent, so you get the cleave of that central point off, for example. Oh, but I think I was right. They go earlier in now. Leshrac, everything activated, just X-Mark Torrent, nothing else is happening. And they push 2 lanes in at the moment. The Clockwork top, the rest in mid, and the Leshrac, there is it. There it is. I mean, Diabolic Edict, he still has the Aegis, so if he wants to feed that one away, I'm pretty sure that's easily possible. They have to just wait for the new creeps. Illuminate, easy clearing that one out. And top we also have Rocket Flares being used on cooldown. TNC cannot leave their base. And there's the Leshrac. Leshrac is going full YOLO. There's the Edict doing as much damage as possible and using that Aegis. The question is now, now they want to fight. There's the Tombstone and, well, there's the Torrent on a beautiful setup. Only problem is the X-Mark is too late. Second cooldown is also over. The boat is just going into BKB and Usurp at the same time. There's the Clockwork finally coming in here with the hookshot. Real action is actually starting, and the Undying, he has to heal himself, otherwise he might get some residual damage. The Earthshaker being silenced here, but we need another Scream. It's not coming through. BKB also used by the Queen of Pain, so she does not get hit by the Illuminate, and it's just going forth and back in the end. I think bottom line is TNC. They held their high ground for the cost of half a tower, pretty much. Got rid of the Aegis, more or less intentional by the Leshrac, and yeah, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, still, Mineski looking stronger.
I mean, to be honest, considering the TNC are behind, it was a really good fight for them to take, and Mineski somewhat misplayed the situation as well. They, I think, were too comfortable with having the Aegis there. I mean, Leshrac, if you die that far up, you don't really have the best way to escape. He didn't get too much value out of his BKB at all. First of all, he usurped BKB, so that was already a couple of seconds lost from it. And then just used BKB to disengage and do nothing else almost. So a little bit unfortunate. Of course, TNC getting those BKBs on both the Kunkka as well as the Queen of Pain. And Queen of Pain, by killing the Earthshaker, also got the gem.
Yep, that's of course something pretty bad actually. Still, the fact remains we have.
Cuckoo, where you at, bro? Doesn't even carry a TP at the moment. I mean, otherwise it's like, yeah, you BKB TP, easy, right? But when you don't carry a TP, it's a lot harder.
Yeah. Well, the fact is still we have like, what, 14k lead or something like that in net worth for Mineski, which is equal to what we had around the 30 plus minute mark for Mineski in the last game. Then it took them another 10 to 15k gold lead on top of that to actually go and commit for high ground. This time they tried it out earlier, but of course it was with Aegis, so I think we just saw the exception from the rule. We have to see how fast the rest is now coming. Roshan, that till we know when Roshan is exactly here, that's gonna take another 1.5 minutes. So that's no option at the moment for Mineski to utilize Roshan.
Okay, so we're gonna have a couple of items also coming out. Cuckoo, he's gonna have a Shiva's card in about 100 gold. Just needs the Mystic Staff for it. And we are gonna have the Heart of Tarask finished on Phantom Lancer also in about 1k gold. Just needs the recipe for it now. So with those two items, they are gonna be so much more durable, especially the Phantom Lancer, that next time around they don't need to send the Leshrac in the front lines of Siege, but they can just do it with Phantom Lancer.
Absolutely, the Phantom Lancer becomes now a force with the Manta style and everything. That's so awkward. You can really send them on the tower, so damage is fairly decent with the hard healing and everything. It's well, it's definitely gonna hurt. But it's really just when does Mineski actually call for that attack? At the moment, it just looks like they're fine with farming. Jesse Vash is not on the hunt for anything with a hookshot. They just don't need to. Only top, the Queen of Pain as well as the Kunkka, they actually dare to leave their base. Pretty far out actually, but no one is there. No one could even harm them if they wanted to.
So Jesse Vash really is only split pushing this game. It's so funny. I think we've seen 3 hookshots and 2 of them were into creeps or illusions or something like that. So not the most action-packed game for him at least, but as we can see, his team hasn't really needed him to be active, so I guess you can just farm up, create some space otherwise, or at least if your team loses a fight elsewhere, at least you have a lane pushing in, but Clockwork by himself, yes, you can kill creep waves with your rock the player and whatnot, but you don't really deal that much damage to towers yourself.
Yep, absolutely. And well, 13 and 22, 33 minutes. That's what I wanted to say. I'm falling asleep here, Jesus Christ. No, like it's exactly the replicate of the last game. Mineski had a very active and super aggressive Leshrac. By the way, a Leshrac that is even a bit too aggressive. If he gets X marked right here, then he might be in trouble. Also, the Clockwork has to be careful. The Gyrocopter, not even a single point in Rocket, which is kind of disappointing because I think that 1 point in Rocket is very value most of the times. Either way, they have this phase after like 20 minutes where they have a lead to just improve their lead and then just, you know, finish the job, go for the high ground, and it feels like this as well. Roshan might be the timer they are looking for, which is about a minute from now. And then they should easily get Roshan unless something really bad happens. And then with that Roshan, for example, on the Leshrac, I think that's when they start to push. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. You don't want to wait too long against TNC's draft.
Yeah, it would definitely be risky. I mean, Kanka does have a Crystallis already as well. So once he finishes that up into a Daedalus, the splashes from Tidebringer are going to start hurting quite a bit there. So... Also, Gyrocopter, what does he have now? BKB, SNY, and nothing else. But it's still quite a bit. I mean, he has gone for stats rather heavily as well, not a single point into homing missile. So he's doing reasonable damage. Not too massive yet, but once they get more damage on Gyro, the Flak Cannon AoE, the Tidebringer from Kanka, it's not like BKB is gonna save you just from that physical damage. Wow, that Fisher block.
Yeah, no,
No, you don't go there, you're gonna die, don't go.
That was so hilarious. And at the same time, this might actually be a big problem here. The Clockwork is initiating, but okay, nothing else is coming through. But this Fisher, I think this Fisher was unintentional. He was just like, I just want to go and like farm this and everything. He was like, oh damn it, my team just wanted to get into this jungle. So they actually had to wait for the full Fisher rotation. But it's a good thing. Like Jesse was showing teeth, and TNC definitely not strong enough. They just know, okay, if we go there for all-out fight, we might actually lose. We have to do it on a high ground, and that gives Mineski all the time in the world to just go for Roshan right now.
So who do you give the Aegis to? Is it the Leshrac or the Phantom Lancer?
Leshrac, for sure, yeah.
So which item is he gonna drop for it? Or no, never mind, they are gonna leave it to Jules? Drop the Ring of Aquila?
Interesting, very interesting. I guess it's partially the reason that the Leshrac does not have actually an item slot. I mean, he's really maxed at this point unless he's selling something, which he might not even need to do, because this, all he got right now is pretty much the set you need to finish this game. I just thought they want to work around the Diabolic Edict, the siege damage of the tower, and then use the Aegis, go for it again, etc. That could have worked out, but apparently, nope, that's not the case.
They were probably just like, oh, last time didn't work out that well for us, so not gonna take the chance. Although Cuckoo, he's still the first one to run in. He's like, yeah, screw it. I'm just tanky enough anyway. He does have 29 armor, so I suppose the tower isn't hurting him all that much. There's a BKB coming out in the backline, so in so much trouble. He's probably gonna lose his life. Pops the mech. Sonic Wave whiffs. I think it maybe hit Cuckoo, but they do get the 1 kill at least.
Okay, that was a very interesting approach. In the mid, however, we have the Phantom Lancer actually working already on that tier 3 tower, but now he's being caught out. He has the Aegis, which he has to use, and the side rotation from the team is coming in, but that's the biggest problem at the moment. There's a doppelganger, there's still a Clockwork just to make sure, but there's an X mark, no Torn, no nothing. So yeah, TNC, they cancel their fight, they want to stay on a high ground. Oh, but look at this, Jesse Vash coming in with a relatively useless hookshot, but who cares, you have Arcanum Scepter, which means every 10 seconds you just go for it. 12 seconds actually,
Yeah, Cuckoo now goes back as well to the bottom lane instead of like trying to follow up on Queen of Pain or something like that. So they're gonna try to apply pressure from 2 sides at once. And of course Phantom Lancer, thanks to the Heart of the Rask, he could easily come back. BKB from Cuckoo, is he gonna be able to survive and outrun them? He almost got the range racks. Wow, Teehee. His Tidebringer is really starting to hurt them, but they will be able to disengage. And of course mid lane, the racks are dropping low, but Jules, he's gonna get silenced up again, diffuses it off, and doppelgang to the high ground. Nope, he himself doesn't get to the high ground, but the chase was given up.
Well, it doesn't really matter because at the moment, wherever they leave, they're just gonna get siege damage on the other round. Clockwork just using the hook shot to get the hell out of here. So you see TNC, they're just pinned down and it's just not going anywhere. They have to force a fight. They cannot just sit around while Mineski is farming parts of their jungle plus 2 lanes right in front of their lanes, right in front of their base. That just doesn't work out. This forever presence, but they just don't get anywhere. You have to coddle even in the background, helping with like blinding light and whatnot if in case they just make a go on the PL, something like that. They just don't get through.
Mineski, they have so much gold. Clockwork just bought the BKB, 4.3k on Phantom Lancer, 4.8k on Cuckoo's Leshrac. I have no idea how they even get this money. It really feels like they just finished like the Shiva squad on top of their ass. But Jules, even he has 2.5k, but TNC, they're holding on. They haven't lost tracks yet, or never mind, well, they've lost the ranged one, but Cuckoo, he's in so much trouble. Gonna get, no, Yusef and nicely dodged. Has a BKB as well, not gonna pop it yet, finally does. But I think he's gonna get chased down.
Yep, he's definitely gonna get chased down. The question is now, yeah, it should be enough after the Glimmer Cape, I think. There's even the dust, so this is 1 kill. Actually, he's suicide now, but the Clockwork also in trouble used his cogs, and now the Gyrocopter can actually go full ham on it. The right clicks through the plate man. It hurts the Gyrocopter, but he's not going down. But of course, the good news is, while all this is going on, you can have a double damage rune whatsoever, Queen of Pain, your Rex are gone. So the PL is certainly happy, is going back. Another Illuminate, and that wraps up this fight. Bottom Rex down. It's, well, it is the range Rex, and mid Rex is actually completely gone now, thanks to the PL.
I mean, Mineski, to be honest, if they just went to a fight S5, it could be so much easier for them, but they're still gaining advantages, so it's, I mean, the end result might be similar, but the road to that was just different for them. But Jules, he's about 600 gold away from a butterfly being finished, so that's gonna be massive, of course. There's so much extra agility, tankiness. And if you look at the graphs now, net worth 20k plus. XP did drop down to about 15,000, but 15,000 XP should still be plenty at this stage, and it's really more so about the items, especially now that Hex is picked up on Leshrac.
Yep, absolutely. We have to see if Mineski wants to go for another round right away. At the moment, Leshrac is heading towards mid, which might be indicator, and the others there are like circling in from the top. Is there something? No, there's no smoke, nothing. They're really just blindly pushing out and optimizing their farmer in the around jungle camps, pretty much. And I know this doesn't sound like a very... Never mind.
Okay.
No, I just got distracted.
Yeah, you couldn't tell, man. Couldn't tell at all. But in the meantime, he's only a recipe away from a Daedalus on the Conca. So if he can get some lucky crits, we might even see, well, he's going to have to get a couple of lucky crits, I guess. Although, if you look at the Keeper of Light, since it doesn't have an Aghanims, doesn't have a single item that would boost his strength, well, there's a magic one, so he gets 4 plus 4 strength, yay. But he has less than 1000 health, and with the AoE that TNC has, this Keeper of the Light is not going to enjoy himself.
Nope, absolutely not. Sorry, like I fixed all my stuff here. Jesus Christ, this happens when you're like longer awake than 48 hours. Ah, distraction. But I think Mineski finally want to hit the sack here. But of course, the optimal thing is that they go through bottom lane. Even though, look at all those wards. Jesus, like they really make sure that nobody is coming in and out. While the PL, of course, is top, trying to split push here as well. So where do they actually close in?
Yeah, he even used the Manta Stellar on the bottom lane. Never mind, Cuckoo just forced out away by Jesse Wash. They can't be split like the TNC, and Mineski, they're just taking full advantage of that fact. They're really just keeping it split all the time. Top lane goes in, they get a little bit of space, bottom lane, suddenly the melee Rex start taking damage. Of course, melee Rex, they do regen up, so that's a positive, and it's extremely slow by Mineski, but they have all the time. I mean, it's not like TNC are farming during this.
Yep, absolutely, and there's even a Hex here on the Leshrac, but he's not interested in the kill of the Queen of Pain, he's just interested in the siege damage, and now they try to do something here, Undying even popping his ultimate, but all they do is just sitting back and saying like, okay, sure, we just come back, clean out those creeps, and that's it. So Mineski, oh, this is such a horrible game style at the moment. This is TNC. They have to be with all 5 in 2 places, and that's what they just cannot do at the moment. And in theory, yes, they just brought the Earthshaker in as well. So look at all of this. The range Rex going down, and they even focus on so much more. 2 Rex. And the third one is coming as well, while the Kunkka is trying to run away with so much. The illusions even working on that. And, oh, I just heard a hook shot, which actually got the Kunkka easy cleanup. But look at the Gyrocopter, he's really angry. He wants to go for that Clockwork at the moment. I think the Clockwork is going down, but the question is, do they get their revenge somewhere else? Because the Leshrac is just in the background. There is the BKB, all that damage at the moment, but I think he kind of overextended, because that looks pretty good what the Gyrocopter does here. One more hit, but the Yule Scepter buying all the time. With these illusions, Gyrocopter is going down, and there's the GG call. They just can't hold the base against all this pressure.
Yeah, there was a nice Sonic Wave now, getting a couple kills there, but it's just really well played by Mineski. I mean, they did lose one game. TNC was looking extremely strong in that game, but the rest of those, it was Mineski just who looked better. They weren't behind in really any stage of the game. Yes, it may have taken them some time to actually finish it, but they just played it safe and won the game in the end rather easily.
Yep, was pretty amazing. So guys, thank you for watching. This closes the series with 3-1, right, Mr. Couchor?
Yes.
I hope my math doesn't suck that much. And of course, I want to thank you guys for tuning in here on HeflaTV 1. If you want to support this project or anything, then of course go to the Caster social media, which is for Mr. Couchor, that is just Couchor on Twitter and CouchorCast on Facebook. For me, it's Heflamoke, but you can also reach me on under everything that's HeflaTV. Your follow, your like, your share, whatever you do on our platforms, everything that helps, because yeah, that's just how it is. We're not paid, we just live from your support. That's pretty much it. So the best of 5 is done. Was a nice game after all. Mineski just being better.
Yeah, the chat even said at one point that it's the Mineski Pro Gaming League. Mineski has to win, and
yeah, true.
Well, win they did. So a little bit of a happy coincidence there. But guys, like Hefla already said, thank you so much for tuning in. We are done for the day. Just gonna run a few songs now to finish up the stream, and we hope to see you again for, well, for whatever HeflaTV is gonna do. Maybe next MPGL, who knows? Or Leg 3 should be upcoming in July, I believe. Not too sure, but
there's some more MPGL coming in July. Game show. Some of our casters, they cast on Hitbox the game show, the last some tournaments, the last series, I think. But then HeflaTV has no content pretty much till the TI comes, and since none of us is invited, there's really not much to come. But in the meantime, maybe we even try to do some content, try to make something with the viewers. I mean, I'm streaming personally. You can also check out my podcast, which you can always find on Reddit. It's called The Target. Yesterday I had Mr. Sir Action Slacks. The day before I had Sayori. That's also very interesting. So if you guys are bored because there are not enough games, Dota games out there, then you can of course consume this content. I will also post this as usual on social media. So there's always some off content.
So yeah guys, that's gonna be it then. Once again, appreciated that you came, and congratulations to Mineski for winning this. And with this, we're done. See ya guys.